Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of the Blue Green Ocean Road with your host, David R. Stenberg. I'm below decks today because it's too freaking cold to be out on my deck. It's just too cold. I can't do it.
What is it out there?
I'm like 17 degrees.
Ooh.
No, actually about 27, 20, 21 degrees.
No, thank you. I'm cold in here.
I'm getting too old for this.
I'm too old for this shit.
Yeah.
What'd you do this
How
week?
are you doing?
I read Lincoln in the Bardo. Bardo. Bar Bardo. You know what a Bardo is?
A Bardo.
B A Bardo.
It's Spanish?
I don't
No.
know. Good question. It's a place where you go. You know, lost souls. Your parents would know about this. You probably know about it too. Lost souls, like when you release a spirit, like usually it's because something wasn't resolved when they died, and they don't even know they're dead. They're just repeating their last moment over and over again, and then they're released. Um, that's the bardo.
That's to be reminded that they should go on, move on.
Yeah, when they realize they're dead, they move on, but they don't know they're dead. They just keep reliving. They keep talking about the last thing that was on their mind. In this one, this book is a fucking trip. I actually I fell asleep a couple of times reading it on the first 100 pages because I didn't know what the fuck was going on. I actually said it out loud to the book. What the fuck is going on? And then around page 100, I went, "Oh, I get it." And then I fucking flew through it. It's a fucking amazing book. But it's
Is it a
about
work of fiction?
yeah. It's about Abraham Lincoln's son, Will William Wallace Lincoln. Um, they had a state dinner, and he died during it. He got like this fever, and typhoid. Typhoid. Turns out he had typhoid. The doc said he'd be all right, but they had this big state. They had like these big state dinners. They had three instead of all these other ones. I guess it was just a money saving thing because the Civil War had started, right? So he died during it, and of course, like the papers say, like, how can we be spending money? We're at war, all this shit. You know what I mean? Like the same stuff you hear all the time. That never lets up. It's always the same. So anyway, he dies, and it was the same day that they got. This part's true. It was the very same day that there was like this battle where 2,000 men died. The deaths were equal, kind of equal on both sides, and twice as many were wounded. Like 4,000 men, 4,000 wounded. You know what that meant? Missing a leg and an arm now, right? And then just 2,000 dead. And there was like one soldier. Well, there's these comments after he says, "Yeah, 1,000. That's now it feels like a real war, you know." So Willie, this kid, they call him Willie. So now it's these people. Like I don't know what the hell's going on. There's this one guy who's like old. He's up there. It's like in his 50s. He doesn't, and he ends up marrying this really young girl. Just sort of for convenience. He said they were just friends. He said we'll just be friends, you know. Fuck it, you know. And then they got along really great. And after a while, she wanted to do it, you know. So he's a printer, and he was like, it was going to be like that night, and he's at work, and his beam comes down and bangs him right on the fucking head, kills him, right? But you don't know he's dead. He does. And the thing is like he says that he was put in the sick box. They call him the sick box. That's they all refer it to, like the coffin. They say it's a sick box. They're waiting to get better. So it's like when he recovers from this thing that happened to him, he's gonna be able to have a good time with his finally consummated marriage. So in the afterlife, he's walking around with a big stiffy. He just it all takes place in this cemetery one night. Um, this is where they buried Lincoln's kid, right? So and then there's another guy. He's gay, and there was a breakup, and the whole life is miserable then, like in the early, the 1860s to be a gay man and all that, right? So he slashes his arms, right, and then he sees it, and then you always hear this about suicides. They always the minute they do the leap or whatever, they realize they've made a serious mistake, and they want it to not be that way. So anyway, this happens to him. He gets down to the kitchen and he's waiting for assistance. He's sure somebody will find him, and he's just waiting to be taken care of, right, and saved. So this is his thing. So and when he dies, he's thinking about all the reasons to live. So he's walking around listing all these great things about being alive, like flowers and sunsets and food and all this. And he looks like a lot of eyeballs looking all over the place, like this ball of eyeballs and hands and pointing. That's what he's about. Yeah, so this book's a trip. So anyway, so these two are talking, the gay man and this other guy with the stiffy, right? This older guy. And they said, "Good Lord, is that a child?" Like suddenly Willie's there, because he don't know he's dead. And then it goes on from there. Lincoln shows up. The author heard that Lincoln went to the crypt, right? And he said, "Well, that's interesting." And that's when he started thinking about what it would be like. So Lincoln actually goes there. They see him. They don't know who he is. And then after a while, they realize it is him. And there's a release. Everything works out. People start realizing that they're dead. So there was this soldier, right? They buried the soldier, right? So he's standing there, right? And everybody's like, kind of, he's like, "What the fuck's going on?" And he dives back down into the ground, right? And I guess he just looks at his body, comes back up, right? And then he just goes. Like when they go, it's like a big thunderclap and like a bright light, and they're done. They like go. It's almost like a gunshot. So that near the end, you start hearing gunshots everywhere because Willie finally realizes he's dead, and he goes, "I'm dead," because everybody's going, No, we don't want to, we don't want to look at that. You know what I mean? Even though like somewhere in the back of their head, I think they know. Anyways, the book's a trip.
They don't want to admit that they were dead, right?
Yeah,
Like
they're the lost souls.
back then, maybe even more so than now, people are real spiritualists. People really thought about the dead, thought about contacting the dead, thought that the dead were merely just a small, thin membrane away, and they could be reasoned with. I mean, Mary Todd Lincoln was very much aware that the ghost of her son was present all the time and would seek seances and stuff to try to contact him.
With her,
it was just an
that
aspect of the time.
When Willie died, that's when she changed. She was at the state dinner. She was actually a first lady, and that night changed her. She didn't get out of bed for like a month, and then I think they gave her laudanum, and she just stayed on that the rest of her life. Really, she was baked.
By many accounts, she was, by today's diagnosis, she was a manic depressant for the longest time, and it was very difficult to deal with as far as Lincoln goes. But yeah, she was. They both grieved very hardly over that, over the loss of their son. But anyway, but yeah, people were much more. I mean, especially rich people, they go around, they spend incredible amounts of money. There are people, very famous celebrities that would go around and they would take the time to, have seances and contact the dead for people. I mean, this is a very big deal during Victorian times. Is he out in the tree stand?
Yeah.
Yep, he just shot a doe. Small doe.
I wonder if I can get him. Let me see.
What?
Pin to screen. For everyone.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, man.
Can you see
I
me?
don't know what they trying to tweak something. I don't know.
I'm gonna try to
Dave's
train.
tweaking, but
Whatever. I thought I could make you center. That's all. I'm just trying to put you in the middle.
he's at the top of the screen now. As far as
Not for
that, from
me.
this perspective,
Who
he's
knows
at the
if
I'm
our
top.
right
mics?
over. I'm right over Dave's face. Dave, if you move to your right,
No, I'm
I'll be able to
recording
see
my
you.
screen, so whatever you see ain't happening here. It ain't gonna be. You know
Well,
what
I
I mean?
know, but I can't see you.
You can't
All I
see
can
me
see
at
is
all.
me.
All you
Move,
see
yeah,
is
a
you.
little bit. I see half of your face.
Oh,
Move half a face to your right.
that's actually your settings, Mike.
Well, I know, but I can't do nothing about it. So,
There ain't much to see over here anyway, buddy.
yeah.
So you'd like this, Mike?
What's that?
Quantum computing, right? Google just came out with a big chip. But this is how it works. They're nowhere near encryption breaking. But all right, a regular computer is ones and zeros, right? On, off, on, right? And then next thing you know, you're
Yeah.
making a podcast on the internet, right?
Yeah.
So it's just bits, zeros and ones. Quantum, it's like Schrödinger's cat, like they call it a qubit, right? It could be either state. It's like
Either or both. Yeah.
right? Until you measure it, then it pops into a 0 or 1, but it can be either state, and that's what makes it. And there's entanglement, Mike. The qubits entangle, and then they read a superposition, and that's when they're computing their ass off. Matter of fact, this chip, it's not going to be in an iPhone because it has to stay at like near 0
Right.
degrees. So it's not going to be anything you're going to carry around. But they do. There's a calculation to make to figure out what a prime number is, if any number, and say if it's a prime or not. It's very hard to do. Big ones, you know. And now they have enough speed to do that. They can discover prime numbers. They
Yeah,
can actually run that.
they just did one. I just read that article about how the one qubit that they used, this calculation, it would have taken today's supercomputers like 20 trillion years to figure out.
Longer than the how long the universe has been here. It's longer than that, right? Yeah. It's El Capitan. That's what they call this one computer. It's the big brain, the one we have, right? And now it's like, whatever, good. It's just like it's an Atari.
Yeah.
But it's not gonna break any encryption yet. None of that shit, because you still got to get that superposition, and they got like a millionth millisecond or something. They got it at that point, and that's like, ooh. And the thing is, it's self-correcting. What they're looking for is errors out the ass. There's always errors, right? And this makes errors really fast. So this one is self-correcting. Like they find that they can correct the errors, right, using quantum. And once you reach a certain mass, it'll just boom. Then cure for cancer, all that fun shit. But that's a ways away.
Yeah, it's all a ways away.
But I saw entanglement. I said, "Ooh, Mike would like this if he didn't know." There's fucking bits of there's entanglement.
Yeah, pretty wild, right?
Yeah, fuck yeah, man. You gotta be shitting me. Cubits.
Now that that has the potential for consciousness. I think.
Oh fuck it.
It's way down the road. Way down the road. But I mean, to develop to actually be a real, actual conscious machine.
Yeah, it's exciting shit though. There's a Europa probe, Clipper.
Yeah.
That's cool. Finally got my Europa mission. I might see one. I might see it yet.
Yeah. Right.
Fuck yeah, man. You see how they doing it? They're not gonna drill the hole. They're just gonna go by geysers. And
and just look through the water and see what's going on.
Yeah, it's fine. That's enough. They have to, you probably know this. They do this wide orbit. They got to get the fuck away from Jupiter for a while.
Right.
And cool off, and pull out the antenna so they can say this is what we saw, and then pull it all back in and fly in again, take some more shit. Yeah. Cassini did that too. It's really elaborate.
What do you think? What do you think the chances are of life on
100%.
Europa? So far, they think it might be too saline for.
Yeah, it might be. There's the other one, Titan. There's a couple of fuckers. The Triton's wild. The one out by Neptune. I ain't getting a probe there, not in my lifetime. You know,
No,
but
the one around Saturn has some potential too.
yeah, that's Triton. They're pain in the ass. Those two. They got
Yeah,
atmospheres.
yeah. Fucking cold. Whew. My hands are cold.
Yeah. Do you get those? Do you get the warmers on your feet? Um,
No, my feet were cold. The
I
rest of me was warm. I mean, I'm bundled up. I got 5 layers on.
yeah
Like I have to carry all my shit out here because I get too hot if I try to wear it, and then I got to put it on when I'm sitting.
yeah
And now I got to drag a deer all the way out of here, so that's going to be pretty hot.
yeah yeah. You have your hat off, steam's coming off the top of your head and shit.
Oh yeah, it's going to be work. I'm just taking a break. It's a small dough, but it was, it was that or the mother. So
Yeah,
this
you
has
don't want
been
to
a
do that.
tough hunting year for me.
Oh yeah,
My equipment's been failing me. Yeah, this one too. This is the new shotgun that Judd got me and gave me, and I used a lead sled to sight in my black powder gun and my shotgun. But you can't just rely on that. You got to after you get it all sighted in, they were both shooting perfectly. And my black powder gun, it turns out after missing 2 deer, I put it on paper, and it turns out it was like 8 inches low and 3 inches to the right, even though on the lead sled it was perfect.
yeah.
And this one obviously is not, because I had to shoot this one a couple of times.
That's
So, yeah. So it's been a tough year. This is the 4th deer I pulled the trigger on. The other 2 I missed, and the other one the gun didn't go off.
click.
Yeah.
No shit. Oh fuck.
Yep. Yeah, black powder. That's why it's a whole thing, because they're not as reliable.
Yeah, the bear's coming at you. He's charging. Remember the Reverend? That's memorable. I'm glad there was the Reverend before we went out to that fucking lake in Canada.
That guy was a real guy.
I know. But there's a lot of real guys like that. Real guys.
Yeah.
Flintlock.
Didn't live to tell the tale.
Fuck me. Fucking A, man. Bear hunting.
Well, there ain't any grizzlies in where we were in Canada, so we didn't really have to worry about that.
It was a good time of year. They're not too aggressive then. I guess
Right,
it's,
but-
what is it, fall? Somewhere in the fall, you gotta get the fuck away from them.
Yeah, they're trying to fatten up for winter. But like I said, Eastern Canada doesn't have any grizzlies, so we didn't have to worry about that. Black
Yeah.
bears ain't gonna bother you.
I know.
They're just
but
gonna eat your food.
it doesn't matter. I used to worry about sharks in pools, so
Yeah.
this is not rational.
You worry about aliens too.
Well, yeah, of course.
Aliens at your guard station.
You know what I got now? I got ghosts. I've been ghosts this week.
Ah, there you go.
Yeah, this is a good one. Lincoln in a Bardo. This is
Huh.
this is weird. This is a weird book. It's really good. It's ghosts in the so it takes place in one night, and the Lincoln is William Wallace Lincoln. He's an 11-year-old boy that died while Lincoln was president. It was the event that made Mary Todd nuts, right? She was on Laudanum the rest of the time.
I think she was nuts before then. So it's been
Well,
fairly well documented. This is a manic depressant. But anyway, go ahead. finish
this
the
absolutely
story.
didn't help.
Yeah.
She was functioning as a first lady, though. She was attending state dinners and all that shit. So whatever, she might be loopy, but outwardly she wasn't. So after that, it was over. You can see her no more. She spent like a month in bed and all that shit. So Willie ends up in the graveyard, Mike, and with all these other lost souls, they just haven't moved on. They just keep reliving their last one. That's all they talk about is like the last moments. It's like whatever's going on, like how you're thinking right now. If you died right now and didn't know it, it'd still just be doing that. You'd be, worried about rent or how you're gonna get this deer out of the woods or whatever the fuck, right? That's it. That's you're in this loop. But there are others there too, and they're on the same trip.
Wow.
There's It's funny as a motherfucker. This first guy, the first 100 pages, I actually said out loud to the book, "What the fuck is going on?" I actually fell asleep a couple of times, and I didn't think I was going to be able to do it. I almost gave up on it, right? But then around page 100, they saw that ghost. I go, "Oh, okay." Then I was off to the races. Thing's fucking really good. But the first guy is he's an older guy and he marries a. I already been through this, but he was about to get laid, so he's walking around in the afterlife with a big stiffy, right? And this other guy kills himself, and he gets down to the kitchen and and he's waiting for. He's certain that somebody's going to find him and he's going to be all right. So while he's doing it, he's going through all these things that he likes about life. Like I like coffee, and flowers and sunsets, blah blah blah. So this is all he's doing. He's just going. He's just making these crazy great lists, and he looks like a bunch of eyeballs looking all over the place. He's just like this ball of eyeballs. So he's hanging out with the guy with the stiffy, and then there's a reverend who just has this look of horror on his face, like oh, like just like that. But he talks normal. But whatever happened to him, he's just horrified. And these are our heroes. And then they're sort of hanging out, they're talking, and then they say, "My God, is that a child?" And then there's Willie, and he's a lost soul, and they go on from there. It's a cool book. Should read it.
I found a book of lost short stories by Philip K. Dick.
No shit.
It's on Spotify. That's what I was listening to this morning. And then I heard footsteps and I shut it off. And then the footsteps got louder and then they came within range.
I've read a lot. I might have read those. There was one I read. It was called the Philip K. Dick Reader. There's like 1 million of them in there.
These are the lost short stories. I don't know why they were lost, but that's what it's called.
Well, he did drugs.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I liked Maze of Death. You read that, right? Oh, no. That's the one Sequoia read. I was talking to you about it, and he said, "Are you talking about Maze of Death?" Because that's the one where I'm going, you know he's fucking with your head. Right? And then you're going, "What? How the fuck? There's no way you're going to be able to let yourself out of this. You're just like convinced. This is it. You've gone too far now, Philip. You know? There's no fucking way." And then he did it. It was the they were in virtual reality. They were on the ship. They were in like the holodeck. He invented the holodeck before the holodeck. That's why. And so that's what was going on. The ship itself was stuck around a neutron star. It had gotten too close and it got stuck in the orbit, and it was just stuck there. And there was no way to get rescued either. They were just stuck there. And the only escape was this holodeck-like equipment. So they kept going, and it was getting worse. Like they said, when they got out, they go, "That was the worst one yet." So we didn't even last a week, right? They just start killing each other. There's all the same shit that just starts happening. Yeah, and so I mean, in the book is like, this is fucking nuts. I mean, the shit that was going on. There was like this on a mantle. There was this little castle, and a cannon came out and killed somebody. They were like alive. They were around. They were just like these figurines, right? He didn't look at it and say, "What the fuck is it?" And blew his fuck out of it, I guess. Stuff like that. It was like buildings were alive. Oh God. Oh fuck. It was good. It was so good. The thing is going wrong is because the guy loses his job. He doesn't even seem to really give a shit. And he's got to transfer to another planet. And the company has these like kind of like beat up old spaceships that you can just take. It's like a car. It's almost like the size of a car. And then so he there's a whole shitload of them, right? All various stages of fucked up. And he just picks the first one. He starts packing. His wife comes down and says, "This thing has got this thing wrong with it." Says, "We would only get like halfway, and then we'd be fucked, right?" And he says, "Why don't you pay more attention?" You're going like, "Yeah, why don't you?" So then he just picks another. This is how it was, though. You know, it's like everything was like off, and yeah, and then they get to the place, and all this other shit starts happening. You know, I don't know. It was great. Maze of Death is the shit. I've read that twice. I should read it again because I can't remember a lot of it now, and I know it was a fucking. I know the ending, and so do you, but it don't matter. Um, it's fucking good.
I read this story about this person finds himself on this massive ship, and an old lover, an old girlfriend, comes up and starts talking to him, and it turns out there's all these life forms on this ship, and they're all like, it's the other side of the universe. Somehow this person got transported, and they're not going to get back, and so they want to know, like, what. So you're not really my girlfriend. He's like, no, I'm who runs the ship. I'm just in this form. And he says, well, I want to see your true form. He says, no, you don't. You don't want to see my true form. It's maddening, and it'll make you mad. And he's like, no, I really want to see it. And so that's what happens. And he goes
It's
mad.
not good. Yeah, is that Love, Death, and Robots? There's one like that.
Yeah.
Is that the one?
It might be.
Yeah, it's the same
Or it
thing.
might be based on that one.
It's an old flame he runs into.
Yeah.
And everything's good. And then he goes, and then, but in this one, apparently, the alien can just wipe the memory, and they do it again. So we've done this a couple of times.
I think that is the one. I think that's the same. I think it was an Asimov story.
Yeah, probably then. Yeah, my favorite one was the IO one. I love that one. That one's fucking really good. I actually bothered to get it. I got the Asimov magazine. I found it on eBay.
Oh yeah.
I got it for shit. It was like $1. It's the one with that particular one in it. Yeah, it's cool.
Did you ever read the Rama series?
No, I seen it. It looks like an undertaking.
Rama's about a big giant, kind of a zoo that's flying through. It's this big giant ship. Nobody knows what's on it, and then they go on it, and it's like got all these different species on it and different habits for the species. Really cool.
Yeah, all right.
Mission to Rome.
Remember Ark? The Ark? That was a TV show.
Yeah.
They were all societies. They were all like villages and shit. They didn't know they were on a spaceship. That's a cool trope. There's a couple of Star Treks like that too.
Yeah.
If I've touched the sky or something.
What's that other movie?
They were in an asteroid.
Made a movie, and some people were asleep, and some people were just like living and breathing and living their lives as they're on their way to this planet. And on their way, like, the people had turned into savages and forgotten that they were on a spaceship, and it was like generations later, and like the people who were supposed to run the thing when they woke up got woken up when they got near the planet, and they're trying to convince these people that we're in a spaceship and we're at the planet we're supposed to be at. And they're like, fuck you,
up,
Yeah.
Well, they should just land the thing and let them out. Go ahead, yeah.
Well, eventually they crash into the planet and they get out, and some people live, but the heroes lived anyway.
Yeah, I'm just picturing them fucking running out of the spaceship all fucking crazy and shit. The fucking nightmare. Humans have arrived.
Yeah. Well,
with their clubs and their rocks. That's an old one, man. There's a Star Trek like that, I'm sure.
Yeah. There's only 37 stories, really.
Yeah. And that's
they're all
a great one.
variations.
They don't know where they are. They don't know they're on a spaceship. They think they're on a planet with and shit.
They don't know what the fuck it is. This is their home, and they're fighting the other guys, like they're just killing each other. And then these people wake up and they're like, trying to get a handle on the situation. So, like a lot of these science fiction tropes, they're really kind of stupid in a lot of ways because, like, if it was believable and truthful, then it wouldn't be science fiction. It would be just science, But you got to, like, suspend your, criticism of these things in order to enjoy them,
Yeah. There's some that I play in my head that I can't believe are there. It just bugs me, right? There's one in Wrath of Khan that when the Enterprise is about to enter that nebula, right? And Khan goes to explain it to him, and he shoots a torpedo across the bow, like a warning shot. Like, why did you do that? You've been trying to blow this guy out of the,
Yeah.
no, this is not a time for warning shot. This is when, you know, well,
This is when you do it. You do the thing.
you fucking hit the saucer, you fucking dummy. That bugged me. That bugged me like a motherfucker. That bugged me when I saw it, when I was in the theater. I go, no, they're pulling me out of the movie. No, this isn't right. You're really in Seattle, asshole. You're not really in space. Bad writing. Bad.
Yeah.
Cool effect,
Jed's
though.
favorite thing, like Jed would go see these science fiction movies, and then he would just tell me how terrible they were. Like it's just so terrible because that could never happen.
Yeah,
And
well,
I finally had to tell him, Jed, like this is what I said just like a minute ago. I said, like Jed, if it was believable, if it could happen, it wouldn't be science fiction.
if it was believable it could happen, it'd be like right now. Like right now. Like in
So
our
what do you do
shop
when you get on?
working.
What do you do when you get on a roller coaster? You just look at, go, oh, what's the big deal? It's just a car on a track,
Yeah,
Like,
there's no way I could
what's
die.
the big deal? No, you throw your hands up in the air and you take the ride, man.
Yeah. Yeah, accept it. Try and freak yourself out. It's not gonna stand the track. We'll die. We're all gonna die. Last thing I'll
We
ever
were
do.
riding the one in Coney Island, the famous one,
Oh,
the
yeah?
Cyclone, I think it's called. Me and Dan Butterworth, we were down there, and so we got on it and went twice. And it's this rickety old wooden roller coaster,
Yeah.
These like 15-year-old girls in front of us, and I'm like, hey, is that a loose bolt?
Yeah, yeah. And the girls are fine, but some guy that looks like Woody Allen gets all upset.
No, they were freaked out.
Oh yeah, I know. Fucking.
Wow, that looks like those boards are loose over.
Should it be like this? Wait, stop! I see something.
Yeah. Oh, I saw these videos of these guys like he's running a ride. He's running a ride, in one of these amusement parks where he drops people. They drop, and at the bottom the thing like curves out, and they get off. He's like, "Oh, I forgot to strap the shoulder straps in. Wait a minute!" And then he hits the release button, and the people are screaming. He does that to everybody. He tells them like, "Oh, there's something wrong," and then he drops the thing. Yeah, sometimes when I wake up in the middle of the night, and I can't go back to sleep, I'll watch, prank videos or funny videos or babies laughing.
Yeah, baby's laughing is good.
Yeah, makes me laugh. Last night I watched a half hour of this one thing. It was a collection of half hour of scare pranks. I fucking laughed for a half an hour.
Oh yeah, when people like pretend to be a statue or something.
Yeah.
They move. Yeah.
The Bushman and just people like putting on masks and scaring each other and stuff. But after laughing for half an hour, then I was able to go back to sleep. It was good. I was full of endorphins and I felt really good.
Cool.
Went back.
At least you found something.
Yeah, laughter's good.
I got one where I just realized you start with your feet, you do like tense and then relax. That foot's relaxed. You move to the other one, and if it goes too quick, you do toes first and then foot, and then you usually by the kneecap you out.
Huh.
There's
That's
the
a good
breathing one too. It's a square. This like inhale for 4 seconds.
Yeah, I do that one. I try that one. It doesn't always work.
Yeah,
unfortunately,
it's just like you just gotta put your mind on something and just turn off the lights, turn off everything, and just start doing that boring ass shit.
Yeah.
I'll watch babies laughing for half an hour.
Oh, watch babies laugh. Yeah, I don't know why, but I really like that. There's nothing like babies laughing their first laugh,
I got a couple of audio books I know by heart. I'll just stop playing them. I'll just start that. Like there's like if it's one if I was to listen to it and I'm trying to listen to it, that's impossible. But something I know by heart, I just get a couple of sentences in sometimes and I'm gone, and then the thing falls out of my ear and that's it. A couple of classics. I used to listen to the radio play, Waterworld's radio play.
Oh yeah,
That puts me to sleep. I know that by heart. I can play that in my head without assistance because I had the album actually. It was like
word for word.
word for word. Yeah, that is a cool fucking radio play. Had me.
That is great.
Yeah,
Yeah, remember that time at John Shed, WAAF was doing it?
yeah, yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah.
Harry Crabtree didn't know.
Yeah, he was coming up the walk. We're going, holy shit, because she really did kind of keep it from anybody freaking out because he'd say it like every minute, which would give you a minute of it, and then that's bullshit. Everybody
do a commercial and then they'd say, "This is a play," don't worry.
Yeah.
They
Harry
have to
comes
do
in,
that
we go,
if
shh.
they're gonna
And
run
then
that
we'll all
play.
listen, and then he finally says, what the fuck is this? He goes, that was beautiful. What the fuck
Yeah, because
is
they were
this?
using local. They were using local cities too.
Yeah, yeah,
they just took Providence,
Yeah. The fleet building's on fire. Whatever the fuck. It was good. That was great. I like Carol Fox a lot.
Yep.
Yeah, I used to listen to her in the morning over at Al Lunenham's.
Oh yeah.
She got my radio kicked out of the shop. She had she wanted men to call up and tell her what their favorite part of the woman's body was, right? So this guy calls, right? You can hear he's at a payphone. You can tell there's traffic and shit. Guy doesn't even have a home, I guess. And he said he liked the face. Yeah, I like the face. So she said, well, that was a face man, not to be confused with a spaceman. And then she went to commercial. I just remembered that. That was fucking beautiful. And then that guy complained, and then I had to take the radio out. And then that sucked because the next day there's no radio. It was just me.
It's the Dave Show. How do you like me now?
Yeah. What's your favorite part of a woman's body? Right. Today I like tits. Today's my day. Like there was, anatomy day, every day. Like today's tits.
Fuck that guy.
Tomorrow's the naughty place. Ooh, the naughty place.
Man, I gotta figure out how to get this thing out of here.
Helicopter.
And it's getting warmer.
Skid steer.
I can feel that the temperature is going up. Not nearly as cold as it was about a half hour ago.
Oof.
An hour ago, I'd say.
Hey, did you look at Jupiter yet? That big bright fucker in the sky, right?
Yeah.
That's cool. Hey, did you look at that 37 thing?
Yeah.
That's a trip.
I don't know,
right?
kind of weird. Like, constellations and those kind of things. They always get me because, like, you can make 37 on anything up in the sky. And it's just like the constellations. Like, we got these constellations. Well, other people have them too, but they're all different ones.
But,
different combinations of stars are considered, the Algonquin constellations. They all have different names. And, those people sat there looking at the stars and went, hey, that kind of looks like a bear. That kind of looks like, a guy, screwing his wife or something, and they're all different, because you can look at a bunch of dots and make anything out of anything.
Yeah. Well, the one about that cluster, I don't see it actually. I think I was docked a little bit. I just got a better telescope look at it. We could see it.
Yeah.
But the thing about 37 though is like when people pick it, that was the number people picked. It was weird. You picked 39.
Well, I was going to pick 37. That's the funny thing. I was going to pick 37. And then Mikey said 27. No, he said 39. He said 39. I was like, oh, I can't pick 37 now because Mikey's got 39. So I went 27. But I was really going to pick 37. And like I said, it was like because of that guy, Michael Kelly, he always said that whenever someone couldn't think of an answer and Sister John called on them, he'd whisper across the room, 37.
Yeah.
Because that's what he picked.
Well, yeah, that's
just the look on her face.
It's just that prime number. It's a pretty amazing number actually. It's we pick it for a reason.
Yeah.
It's like in choices. It's like a third of the way. It's as much. I watched it once. I went, ha, that's interesting. And then the kicker was M37. That's Messier, the Messier catalog.
Yeah.
That's what it's M37, and um, I don't know. I don't. Maybe I'm gonna look closer. I've only looked at that cluster with the binoculars. Um, clusters are cool.
Yep.
I found them you just scan the sky with binoculars, see which ones you can see. You know, like Pleiades, I found that way. I didn't even know it was there. I was just looking
Really?
around with binoculars, and I stopped
Subaru?
on it. I went, "Whoa, what the fuck?" I never saw it like that. You know, I heard about it. You know, but yeah, I know all about it now. Yeah, Subaru.
That's Subaru.
Yep. I find it easy. It's like a shot from Orion's belt, just going out after the eye of the bull, Aldebaran. Piece of toast, and on the other side is M37. It's all there. It's all there, and right after the sun goes down, pretty much. All your viewing needs. I like this time of year. I like the sky
Me
this
too.
time of year.
I like the daylight. I like the low angle sunlight that we have this time of year.
Yeah, I like that it fucks off at 4. I like that. I do. I like it dark at night.
Well, yeah, you would.
I just do. I like the sun out. It's 9 at night. What the fuck? Go away.
Man, we're in Ireland, and in July, and the sun, like, it's 9 o'clock, and it's still light out. You know, you're like looking for a place to eat, and everything closes at 7. You know, like, what the hell, man? It's still light out. You want to get some dinner?
Fix it anything, George?
They're
What are you fixing this week in your house?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Everything.
Everything.
I found some spaces where I got some kind of critter. Maybe it's mice. Maybe it's something else eating away at my insulation. I just had to replace a bunch in the basement here.
Jesus.
And,
yeah.
man, the roof's leaking. I can't wait to see. I got to get that replaced this year.
Hey, what's the news on that?
Nothing yet.
Is the insurance company?
Well,
Nothing yet.
Insurance companies, they like to take their time.
Of course they do.
It's throwing out money.
Yeah, they're trying to.
If they set aside money, they figure, well, maybe we're going to have to pay out this amount of money. So they set out the money. And the longer they can keep it, it goes into another account. They can make interest off of it for as long as they can before they have to pay it out. That's just an accounting problem right about now. The rest of us have to suffer waiting for it.
Yep.
Once
That's why
again,
that guy killed that CEO of the healthcare CEO. Wasn't that wild that they treated him like as if they treated like they did the massive manhunt, and they treated him as if he killed a politician, you know? Like, people get shot down in the street all the time, but no, they did this massive manhunt for this guy because how dare you kill a rich man?
Justice has always been a matter of money. The more money you have, the more justice you get. That the more amount of resources they'll put into solving your crime or getting you justice. It's just another example.
It's great that most people in New York I didn't see nothing.
I don't know, man.
But they killed the CEO of a health insurance company? No, I didn't see anything.
Probably because it didn't happen.
Oh, no, there's a conspiracy for you. It never even happened.
You don't know. I mean, this is one thing you don't know. You don't know what the fuck that is. That's an anomaly that's out there. There's all that shit out there. What is it? Do you know if it's
I
real?
think they found the guy. I mean, they found the guy's dead body and everything. I mean, I don't think they're lying about it.
I do.
I mean,
I
you
think
gotta
they
be
could
real
be. I don't know if they are or not, but that's a possibility.
They're making it up. You think they made it up? You think that guy's what did he fly off to Acapulco or something? He's not really dead? What
Mike,
the fuck are you saying here?
It's in a quantum state. It's either bullshit or it isn't. And so you have to decide when you open it, is it bullshit or is it not bullshit? Is the cat alive or dead?
Well, they got that guy in jail.
It's either it is or it isn't, and it can be both. I mean, to
It's in
some
both
people it's
states.
justice, to some people it's like hideous crime.
It's in a quantum
So
flux.
it's like
Well, Dave
everything
said it didn't even
in the
happen.
state of quantum.
No, I'm saying
Dave
that's a
just said it didn't even
possibility.
happen.
You can say
So-
either yes or it's no, or it's great or it's not. You know, so there's your four states right there.
I know that it doesn't matter. These things seem to me like I'm being jerked around. It seems more and more that it's just manipulation, theater.
Like I wanted justice the other day. I was out. We had tagged a Christmas tree. Now this Christmas tree farm we went to, it's getting kind of scant because of the, the crowds, and I mean because of the drought and whatnot. And so most of the trees are not that great. We have to get one that's a little bit bigger. So I found one that really stood out. And so we couldn't take it. You know, the wife was insisting that it was, way too early. It was going to dry out and set the house on fire if I didn't wait another week to get it. So I tagged it. So we got this nice wire tag we put on it. And certainly when I went there yesterday, it was gone. Somebody took it. And
Yep.
so, the owner's saying, well, maybe, the tag blew off. It's, no, I fixed it pretty well on that thing, and it's just some douche took it because they could,
Yep. Because they could.
Somebody
They
took
took
the
the
tag
tag
off.
What are you going to do?
Ah,
I don't know.
they'll get a tree. I got
I mean,
I
I'm
got
sure
it
he's
made.
thinking, that's score. This is wonderful. Look at this wonderful opportunity. And I'm thinking, oh, what an asshole, So
My wife is awesome. She don't want me to touch nothing. She don't want me to. She don't
no
want me
matter
to
perspective,
rearrange
like
anything.
everything else, it's all about perspective.
I didn't know for
Well-
years.
Still, I don't think they'd be making this national thing and putting a guy in jail if it didn't happen.
Is he in jail though? I like that. You know what his
Well,
name
yeah.
means? Luigi
How much did he really want to get caught?
Luigi
Really.
Mangione. Mangione
He didn't
means
seem
big
like
eater.
he was too interested in keeping himself, hiding out. It seemed like be very public the way he, left a lot of evidence around and left a manifesto. Now, was that even his manifesto? I mean,
What
you
they
could go
want is
on
they
ad
want to
infinitum.
know what you think,
Well,
so
like
they
Dave
know
said,
where to
it probably
go.
didn't even happen. The rich
There's
guy
so
didn't
many
even get killed,
variables.
apparently.
No,
Who knows?
So, Dave, if they didn't kill that guy, where is he?
he's on Epstein's island. Well, he was on Epstein's island. He has to do a disappearing act. Who the fuck cares? I don't know. That stuff is so
It's just a distraction to keep
fucking
us
stupid.
distracted from all
If you're
those
wasting
drones
any
they keep
time on it
flying
at all.
around New Jersey and New York and Washington metropolitan area. It's another news distraction.
I spent the last 2 days in a graveyard with a bunch of people who didn't know they were dead. I just passively saw it. Like, I can't avoid it. Like, I go to work, there's a paper on the fucking counter, right? It's fucking YouTube. There's going to be shit peppered in there, And that's enough. And I'm not even looking for it. And it's in my face a lot. It's tiresome. It really is.
Yeah.
You know what I like about this book? They have a section where the people have their opinions about Lincoln, right? And it ain't good. I mean, it's like you hear all the time. Like you could actually put this on any president, in history. Just some of the comments, like he's a danger. He's a danger to the nation. Our founding fathers are spinning in their grave.
Sure.
Blah 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 blah. It's so the same shit. This country it's the same shit over. Every time I read American history, it's like this. It's the same shit over and over again, man.
Right. That's why the victors write history, because this stuff sorts itself out. But at the time, he was hated by both sides of the Mason-Dixon line.
You're right, George. It just sorts it. Who knows how this thing works? It just seems it does. Just what the fuck. It's like it doesn't look like it should. It never looks like it's gonna. It's like we're gonna,
It exists in all four realms, I mean, at the same time.
It's in quantum
It's all
flux.
matter of perspective, I mean, which one we're looking
Hold on a
at,
minute.
which
Is it alive or dead?
Give it another shot, Mike. Bash it in the head with the butt.
It ain't dead yet.
I don't know.
Mike went dark.
Yeah.
But that period of time was very interesting, all the way up until like the early Depression. I mean, rich people, they spent an inordinate amount of time in seances and spiritualists coming into their home, talking to the dead, wanting to contact the dead. This was like an obsession with the rich for so many years since Victorian times, ever since Queen Victoria became obsessed with it when her husband died.
Ah.
And it's just this madness that, the whole Western world was involved in this. And certainly Mary Todd Lincoln was involved in this stuff too. She had seances. She wanted to contact the dead son. It was just this. It was just an aspect of the time. I mean, we still had people the same way, but it was much more so back in the day.
I think there are people like that. I think there are people in Bardo. I actually thought of this story a long time ago. It was something like it. It was like, so if you die in a place, you didn't know the place would change, but you wouldn't. And if you went to that area, you could sense the dead person that was still stuck there. And I based it on the fact that like there are places and buildings that I go to as a god that just gives you a feel of unease, like there's something there, like there's a presence. I can't explain it, and the thing is, it's like it'd be fine if it was just me, but it ain't just me. Like all the other gods in that particular site don't like that key either, right? They don't know what the fuck it is, and it ain't always the boiler room. It's like the well lit area on the third floor. It doesn't make any fucking sense, but you can't get out of there fast enough. You go over there, you hit the station, and then you walk away briskly. No shit. There's the Italians call it brevity. When you just get that, you know what I mean? When something goes by you and you just get that your backbone does a dance.
It's incompatible energy. You don't want to deal with it.
Don't know what it is.
It's survival instinct. It goes back to ancient days.
So there's something there. So ghost stories, I'm in.
Yeah.
There's
Well,
one.
I mean, if there wasn't something to it, it wouldn't be persistent over thousands and thousands of years. People, referring to ghosts or feeling like they've experienced ghosts and whatnot.
Felt the presence.
This is ancient. People all over the world have some of the same experiences.
Well, we all have the same experiences because we're all wired the same.
Oh yeah,
we're all people.
So we're sensing something. There's something there. I don't know what. I'm not saying it is a ghost, but it makes sense. They seem like places where you could have a horrible death. They were like the old mills in Pawtucket, and there's the child labor back then on the looms. The gears weren't even protected. They got sucked into them quite a bit.
A lot of misery in those places.
Yeah,
a lot of misery, adult and child.
Yep.
So there's none in my building. The brand new, sparkling new one, right? No character. It's the older buildings. It seemed that like the ones that had that place.
Now, is it an insurance company? You were?
Yeah.
The building. All right. So there are probably places where people were denied insurance coverage.
Oh, we don't do that.
There's probably an evil energy there. One of those rooms where people deny, deserving people of insurance, of much needed insurance, of much needed compensation, and they were denied. And there were these people that made those decisions, there knowing it was an evil decision, and so it creates this evil energy. Who knows?
Well, the company I work for insures factories, and they do pay out.
Yeah, so this mom and pop factory, it was the lifeblood of this town, that had to exist and needed this insurance compensation. It was meant the difference between closing and laying off 1,000 people or so, or not. And then the insurance company denied them and then put the whole town to misery. And that decision was made in one of those rooms. And the presence of that awful decision that they made is, it still lingers in that room. And so you guys that walk by it, said, well, a
Evil.
very bad decision was made in this room that put a lot of people to hurt. And so maybe that lingers. Maybe that's what you're sensing. Who
Well,
knows?
I was saying that I don't in that building because it's new. It seems like there's nothing in it. Um, that particular
I'm just
place.
sorry with the bet.
It's the ones like the old mills up in Pawtucket, the ones with the red brick, uh, the turn of the century ones. With those are the ones that had them. It seemed. There was one. Now there was one outside. I did have one outside. It was over by Bryant College, Dow Chemical. We had to walk outside to this other building, and I hated that fucking walk out there. I don't know why. And all the other guys didn't like it either. But that place had a couple of things. That was a place that looked like Half-Life, George. Remember I told you about that place?
Sure.
Yeah. I'm walking around. It's reminding me of something. I don't know what. And that game actually had freaked me out. When you run into the first one in that lab, he's on a gurney. You can see him through the glass, right? I don't know if you remember that. You played that, didn't you? Half-Life.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah.
Yeah, that one. So I'm in that place and I'm walking around and I'm going, this reminds me of something, right? And then I stopped. Suddenly I realized Half-Life. This is the same setting as Half-Life. They even had. I walked, and then right after that, I walked by this one room, and the doors swung open. Right, there was like a trap, and all the lab coats kind of flew a little bit. I think I just yelled fuck you to it, and I just kept going and shit. Fuck this place.
It's nice to know
Fuck
like a
this
game like
shit.
that was really started off. You created a lot of atmosphere, and that's what you want. But
Yeah.
now, it's become it's broken. Every game does that stuff now, and it's like, oh yeah, there's the scare scene and stuff. But yeah, I was like one of the first ones that created a lot of spooky atmosphere and like otherworldly events.
I didn't know that was going to happen. I was standing, looking at my computer on that bench, and the thing come at me, and I backed away. I backed away from the computer. Yeah, I know. And then soon after, I found myself in a place that looked just like it, and I didn't really put it together at first. Why did it look familiar? Until I did. It was like 3 a.m. too. Yeah, it was fucked. That was fucked up. But that was because of that. I knew the difference. It wasn't just. That was because that was my own head doing it.
Yeah.
We could make copies back then. I think it was your copy, actually. It was your copy. It was George's copy of Half-Life. And I gave it to the guy that works weekends there. I said, hey, there's a game, play it. He goes, what is this? He says, yeah, just trust me, right? And then I saw him again.
You'll love it.
Yeah. But I said, next time he saw me, he says, you fucking asshole, as he said to me. And then we laughed. Yeah, he said it was fucking pretty good. He said, and it became... He left it there like that. You could play this before you could do it around, Go ahead. See how well you can work here with this fucking game, Play Half-Life and then go do Half-Life for real, It was Dow Chemical. They were doing some fucking... It was the biological division. They closed it. Something happened over there. I don't know what. They were across the street from Bryant College.
Like Plum Island off the coast of Connecticut there.
Yeah.
Between Long Island and Connecticut, where Lyme disease originated.
Yeah.
That place it's like laboratory of horrors right there.
Yeah, I know, right?
Started by a Nazi from Project Paperclip.
Perfect.
Says, what are you doing? Oh, we're developing this horrible disease carried by airborne ticks and stuff. Oh, that's cool. Why don't you come over to the United States and do that for us? And all of a sudden, there's Lyme disease now.
All of a sudden.
Yeah.
They're making Uber zombies. Fucking Uber.
Hey, I resemble that.
Good God, man. So I gotta find another book now.
Reading, well, I'm not reading, I'm listening on the Spotify, because
Same thing.
it seems like all I'm listening to now are the audiobooks. I was reread the Gulag Archipelago, and That was wonderful.
Oh yeah, you
Again.
gave me that. That was a hard. I didn't get through it.
Well,
Oh.
the audio version. Well, I don't know. It
No, it's
is a
not
little.
bad. It's just so bleak. My
It
God,
is very blue.
under arrest. That's the worst thing you want to hear. You're under arrest. Fuck.
It's just. It is. It's very depressing, but it's indicative of how a society can go wild and just get rid of all the undesirable peoples, and it
Yeah.
becomes an entity into itself that has to be fed. And they kept feeding it, feeding it, feeding it. They just kept getting worse and worse and worse until it was just until it just killed itself. Basically, the whole society.
It seems to be still kicking it to
I
some
think
degree.
when they open the concentration camps along the border after they get rid of the Mexicans, they're gonna have to fill them with somebody,
Yeah.
right?
They brought child labor back, so there's that.
But I mean, they're probably gonna do for-profit prison camps, right?
Oh, already. Yeah, actually, their stock is doing quite well, Mike. You should
So-
invest. You should invest in private prison.
Yeah. So after they get rid of all the Mexicans, right? They're gonna have to put people in those camps to keep them going.
Well, that's how
Keep
the
them
organs
profitable.
have to keep feeding themselves. The organs of the Gulag Archipelago. You had to keep supporting this system. The system was designed to keep supporting it, so it would just funnel all these people, all the people that you wanted to get rid of, just undesirable people, just was funneled into these places.
So who do you think's next after the Mexicans?
Whatever they need.
Sweet.
The trans, and the gays, probably.
For-profit prisons that make a lot of money for private corporations, and then judges upon judges have found that just fill these places with, under people that they don't care about, people very low income, people who petty crimes and whatnot, people undesirable people. They fill them with these. They fill these prisons with these people. That's the mistake you make when you have a for-profit prison. You have to keep them
Yeah,
full.
there's certain things. There are certain things that should not be for profit.
Judges to fill these places. It's horrible.
Yep,
Yeah, and they have the GAO group. The GAO group is a group of for-profit prisons that actually lobby for things to be made. They actually lobby hard against legalizing marijuana, for instance.
Oh yeah,
Right. Because this is what fills the prisons.
that's right.
It's labor.
Yep.
It's a brave new world. It's going to be great. And these motherfuckers get a real good foothold in it. Privatize everything.
Yep.
You got
That's
20
the
years
answer
in
to everything.
Microsoft.
You if you want to get rid of all the Mexicans, all you have to do is throw a couple of the guys who hire Mexicans in jail. Hard time, like maximum security. Throw a couple of these rich business guys, agri farmers in jail. Man, they won't be hiring no Mexicans. They'll deport themselves. Man, you save a lot of money doing that.
They're not actually going to do that.
That's
Unless
not
you're
the point,
bringing
though.
enough to imprison all the people that take advantage of this cheap labor, it's not going to solve this problem. All the people, big agri, manufacturing companies,
that's
all
not
these
going to
people,
happen. None of that shit's going to happen.
slaughterhouses and things like that. Unless you jail those people that hire these people, it's not going to stop.
That's right.
No.
That's right.
Those are the people that are drawing the people.
That's
into the
right.
country.
And it wouldn't cost much money to put a couple of those guys in prison, like real prison, not white collar prison. So that mandatory year prison, and then they'll stop hiring illegals and they'll deport themselves, and you won't have to build concentration camps, and you won't have to round people up and spend billions and trillions of dollars doing all that shit. When all you have to do is put half a dozen of these guys in jail.
Well, you're talking sense, which
to
is
hire these
not
people
what
and
you're
make
supposed to do.
legally unusable, then they'll deport themselves because there's no place to work, there's no place to rent a house, there's no place that'll provide you with services. So that's under those circumstances they'll deport themselves. So,
I got all excited. They were talking about 250 units.
Things we're not going to solve this problem.
Right.
250
But I
the
think
people that are most guilty of this stuff have the money to defend themselves. I mean, like our
I don't think they want to solve the problem.
Of course
No,
not.
I think they want a police state.
They don't have enough money. They don't have enough money to prosecute these people. These people can tie this stuff up in court ad infinitum.
I
And,
don't think they even want
Justice
to.
Department
I don't
does
think
not
they're
have
even
enough
going
money
to.
prosecute all the people that need to be prosecuted for this nonsense. I mean, because it costs millions and millions of dollars per case for the United States Justice Department to, if they have the political will to do it.
Think
So,
about it. They're not going after rich guys. They're just not gonna do that.
no, that's not going to happen.
Nope.
That's right. So why bother?
I don't think they really want to get rid of all the Mexicans either.
No,
I
they're
just
not gonna
think
do
they
that
want to
either.
have a police state.
They've done it before. It didn't work. They reverse it right away. They always dabble with it, and then they go, "Oh fuck, everything's rotten on the trees. Let's knock this off." That happened recently. Alabama did.
In Georgia.
Oh, was it Georgia?
Yeah.
One of them states. They managed to get it through, and didn't last long.
No.
Turns out Americans don't want to pick fruit.
Right.
Yep, that's right. So anyway, that's not a problem. Oh, there'll be robots. Maybe they got robots now that can do it. Well,
Eventually, when they do have robots.
yeah, that's soon. That's
that'll be
maybe
it.
here already. You know, I mean, AI would do that. You could even have them pick fruit and pollinate. You know, and we don't need the fucking bees anymore either.
Yeah, I saw. Was it maybe it was a Black Mirror where they had these bees that were pollinating, but the supercomputer took over the bees programming and sent the bees to kill people.
Oh, maybe. I don't remember that one.
Black
But
man,
yeah, that's a good one. Maybe. Yeah, that's. I think that was a fucking X-File. Wasn't the X-Files like that? Didn't they have bees there? Didn't they do something? They had the fucking bees.
Yep. It's a
Little robot bees to pollinate all the fruit.
Yeah, to help spread the black goo. You know, so
right.
I don't even remember. Fucking X-Files
No,
really got
didn't,
nuts.
Michael
The
Craig wrote a
aliens
book
maybe.
about the black goo or the gray goo taking over.
Oh,
What
that's
was the name of that book?
nanobots. Yeah, nanobots.
Yeah.
It turned into this gray sludge.
Yeah.
It would happen quick. It would happen very, very quick. Wow, it's over already, buddy.
Well, we still got 60 seconds, 50 seconds, 49 seconds.
That's cool.
Well,
I'm under pressure to think of something.
oh Jesus!
Oh no, we need.
I'm under
an
pressure to
outro.
drag this thing out of the woods, and I'm going to be hot by the time I get halfway home. I'm going to be wanting to be naked.
Yeah, I went outside. It's actually warming up kind of nicely.
It is a beautiful day.
I'll
I
be
knew it
out
was going
there.
to be this kind of day. It's just so nice. The moon was beautiful last night. I was out last night.
Yeah, it was nice,
All
right?
right, boys. This is it for real.
Yeah,
I can see the
time of year.
camera going down. So I'll see you boys.
All right, man. See you next week.
Later.
Bigger than the Bardo. Hey, we're still here.